think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens, we think we free cause we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame.
Da-da, da-da. Go ahead.
Are we live?
Oh, we're live.
I
didn't even cue us in.
Oh, Jesus, we screwed up again.
I'm the worst.
No,
All right, welcome to the Whiskey Rebellion, formerly known as Conservative Parents with Liberal Kids.
Welcome back. We took a week off.
And we're not going to explain why we're the Whiskey Rebellion.
Not anymore.
Nope. I'm not even going to hint that it was a real boring story from our history from 1791 to 1794. I'm learning something.
It wasn't boring.
No, just the person relaying it. Oh. Jason. Ow. All right. Why are we here?
Do I look hurt?
Why are we here, Jason?
We are here. We're here to taste whiskey today. How are you here?
All right, we'll start with that.
Okay. What are we doing?
All right, Richard Myers of the Myers firm,
Thank
PA.
You always do that. You always change it. Will you get on his... Stop.
Well, I don't even see
Oh,
the
you
TV.
know, I didn't turn the TV on. My fault.
Oh, you need to see. I see. I'm watching it over here. I'm watching live.
We have a so-called producer here.
Listen, I got a lot going on.
Yeah, we heard.
Yeah, and not our show that we pay for.
You know what? We're on time.
Damn.
That's all we can ask for.
There we are. Ooh, how pretty.
I like it.
Boom.
All right. I'm back.
I'm Richard Myers of the Myers firm, PA. My practice is largely devoted to employment law and family law. Lately,
English
it's been
grammar,
mostly
please.
family law.
There you go.
If you have a divorce, a custody battle, time-sharing issues, that kind of thing, come to me. You can reach me at, and you can see it on the screen, at 985-6550. That's the 813. And you can reach me at rmyers@myersfirm.com. And Myers is always spelled M-E-Y-E-R-S. Jason.
Yeah. Is that like the hot dog?
No.
No. How's that spelled?
M-A-Y-E-R.
O-S-C-M-A-Y.
My baloney has a first name.
It's
It's R-I-C-A. Okay. Jason Ricardo here from Ricardo and Waslick PL. We are a consumer protection firm. We're located in Pasco County, but we represent people all over the state of Florida for consumer protection. I help people battling debt collectors and foreclosure. Give us a call at 352-567-3173. My email is jason@ricardolaw.com, and our website is ricardolaw.com. Come see our videos on YouTube.
Boom.
Will do. All right, so
Okay.
what's next usually?
So usually we start after you've harassed me a little bit. We start tasting whiskey.
I deny it. Go ahead.
You can deny it all you want. The proof is in the video. So this record. Anyway, so today we brought an interesting. I brought turpentine. Here we go. Turpentine for drinking.
America's
Actually, no.
finest turpentine.
You know, it's not. It's actually whiskey.
It says Apple Crisp whiskey.
It is Apple Crisp.
Are we
whiskey.
going to expect it to be somewhat similar to like Crown Apple?
I don't know. I don't never had Crown.
All I know is they already got a 10 from the packaging.
Yeah, that packaging is bitchin'.
That's awesome.
So anyway, it's American clear corn whiskey.
Either you drink it or you change your oil with it.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, it's clear, first of all, so you don't change your oil
Oh.
with it. It's corn whiskey. It's made in Tennessee. It is distilled, charcoal filtered, which is what what's the other one from Tennessee? Jack Daniels is charcoal filtered. And it has lots of different flavors. It has regular, apple crisp, peach,
Ooh,
coconut.
peach.
Coconut whiskey. That sounds interesting. That might be good, especially if you make a cake out of it. Chocolate mint, interesting, and then black cherry vanilla.
Ooh,
We got to find some of that.
I will do that.
And let's see. And then this comes with a little recipe book. Ooh, and it's a black one. What's this? Try our Stillhouse Black Bourbon. Oh yeah, got to find me some of that.
Are you going to get one of those maybe crates that has a little bit of each kind in it?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. A case. We call those
Case,
case. We
okay.
call them crates.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go.
You know what's really cool is for all the husbands that aren't allowed to drink, you could just put that in your garage.
And Mama ain't gonna know
They're
nothing.
not gonna know nothing.
Except when they come back inside.
Yeah.
Why does it smell like
I'm
apples?
just working on the car. All right.
I've got an orchard going on backstage. There we go.
Whoa,
I'm sorry, party
that
foul.
looks
Amazing.
urine-y.
It does. It's kind of
Very,
got a yellow.
very urine.
It's got a yellow-green tinge, kind of like a Granny Smith kind
Yeah,
of.
the
tinge to it.
green?
Here, we'll show
Oh,
the-
okay,
Yeah.
that's right. It's
We'll show the audience.
It's
Okay,
apple-y,
there you
not
go. Don't
urine-y.
spill it on your stuff, please.
Yeah, we're gonna spill it all on the
I
electronics.
wasn't gonna, but no,
Let's go
you
for
did.
it.
Okay, I thought.
All right, remember the rules. Tiny little taste. Acclimate your mouth.
This is already not going well.
Why? It's only 70 proof.
It was
so
Not
it's-
10
really
minutes.
liking the smell.
It was 10 for the bottle, man.
Yeah,
All right, remember the bottle.
yeah.
I did think it'd be a little. I didn't think it'd be clear like this. I thought
The
it was
scent.
yellower.
Scent is not.
We said that about another one too.
Isn't this where you put your paintbrush in and kind of let it...
Yeah.
It tastes like the core of an apple.
Really?
Yeah.
It does. Got a kick. Woo.
Oh. I don't mind this at all.
Yeah. It's got a nice.
All right.
It's making my eye twitch.
Plot twist.
It's got
It's
a
really.
slight,
It's really
a
turpentine.
very slight...
By the way, it is turpentine.
it's got... It's got a slight viscosity to it.
Like
Like a little bit, like a little oily.
kind of like turpentine.
Yes.
I think-
like the
that's all in
inside
your
of this
head.
can before they put the alcohol
I
in
think
it.
that's all
Yeah,
in
they
your
never
head.
cleaned it.
It's all in your head. I thought this was going to be a winner, but I'm really disappointed.
It's gonna be. You bought that thing. It was gonna be a winner. Really? Really?
All right. Well, I was hoping it was. A
Well,
winner.
it's America's finest.
It's yeah.
If you
America's.
define America
Depends
as,
on what America you're talking about.
I don't hate it. It's just not very likable either.
You know what it is? I think expectations got really high fast.
Yeah.
And then, if it had come in like a paper bag, you
Yeah.
might have liked this
This
a little
could end
better.
up next
It
to
was
my
just a
Grant's.
regular whiskey bottle.
Huh?
This could end up next to Grant's.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
Grant's is
It-
still
it
surviving.
is-
This isn't
It is
better
not
than
empty.
Grant's.
That bottle of Grant's is still
This
around.
is definitely not one of my favorites. Let's put it that way.
I am so sad. I thought for sure this would be a good choice.
Well, it happens.
Win some, you lose some.
You
All right,
fell,
so
turpentine some.
you bought a
you
whiskey
fell for the packaging.
at Walmart that's in a tin can, and you had high hopes for it. Let's put that.
I didn't buy it in the hardware section. I bought it.
Are you sure?
Well, you sure?
It's right next to the chlorine.
You sure?
And the paint thinner.
All right.
All right, you go first, Rich.
I don't hate it.
Okay, you've said that already.
Okay, so I just
don't
want to.
hate
I
it.
just want to
Okay,
put my score into perspective.
Yeah.
All right. In order to hate something, it would have to be below 5, I think. So, I'd give it a
Dang.
5.9.
Okay, that's like a D. No, that's an F. Was that a F? Was that
Well,
an F or a D?
Well, if you say 5 is the average between 1 and 10, then it's a different scale. If you're saying like 70%
Going by
is the
school.
lowest.
Okay,
Right, I
my
mean, I'm
God,
just
Mr.
talking about-
Former teacher. What'd you use
Well,
to
no,
teach?
you're the one who said that's an F. You're the one who put it in terms of an F.
50%.
I looked at it as a
is an F.
59%.
That-
I can
like a
extrapolate.
teacher would say.
Yeah.
I'm not a teacher.
That's
I am
definitely.
not a tumor.
Where are you at?
I'm still trying to.
Trying to suss it out.
I'm
You
trying
don't
to think. Maybe it's just me.
I'm thinking it is just
I'm
you.
trying to think maybe it's me.
Yeah, it's you.
Let me try it again.
Maybe you didn't read enough about its qualities on the back of the can.
Okay. Stillhouse has elevated the genuine American craft of making spirits using our proprietary all-natural recipes and distilling mastery. Our superior taste and remarkable smooth finish. It is smooth, by the way. It's not.
Yeah.
It isn't bitey at all.
No, it's-
Create the new standard for a great American classic.
It's a new standard. all right.
Okay, it's not that terrible, but
No.
it's
It's not high quality.
it's
either.
not, but it's not burny. It's not like it's going to burn your face off.
No, it's got a little kick to it. But
Well, you know what? I think the that you probably the taste that you're not really appreciating is the corn. It's a 100% corn whiskey, which is essentially moonshine,
Ah. Okay.
and it's probably, since it's not aged, it doesn't go through.
But it's
the-
charcoal filtered.
Charcoal filter doesn't give it any color, I don't think. Maybe. I don't think so.
It just removes impurities.
Yeah, like water. If you
Okay.
distill water, if
Right.
you
Well, I
let
know
your water
that.
run through a charcoal filter, it doesn't come out brown.
No.
If it did, you wouldn't drink it.
Did I say it came out colored because of it?
No, you're just arguing with me for some reason. I think you're trying to. I think you're anticipating.
I'm just trying to get to a rating.
I just think you're
already gave my
anticipating an
5.9.
argument. we're
I'm
about
not
to
hearing
have.
any ratings from anybody else.
I'm waiting for. I'm
I'm
going to give one.
I gotta go with like a 5.7.
Okay.
There's something about the taste that I'm just not.
I'm going to go with a 6.2.
Oh,
Yeah.
you like it more than me.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't know. It seems like it needs something.
But we're all in the same ballpark here, so I
Yeah.
guess
It's
that
not
means
very
something.
tasty. I thought when my first taste, when the first time you taste something, you're like, it gives you something. It tastes like the core of an apple, and I don't think that's a pleasant taste.
Not necessarily, no.
Or the skin of an apple. God, do I hate the skin of an apple taste.
Apple skin has taste.
Yeah, tastes like this.
That was a good. That was a good
It
promo.
was probably distilled
Apple
with
skin
apple skin.
tastes like this.
I mean,
All right,
what does
but
it
I'm
say?
going to
Apple-
finish it.
It says apples.
Apple crisp. Okay, so I'll
So
read
the-
that part. Stillhouse is distilled in a traditional copper still, then charcoal filtered for superior quality and taste. Liars. Allowing the natural sweetness of the corn to shine through. Our mellow flavor and smooth finish make this. Someone is really good at adjectives. Someone took a thesaurus to town on this.
Peterman
label.
wrote it
Huh?
No.
from
Peterman.
from
It doesn't
Seinfeld.
say what the apple, how the apple flavoring is.
It's dripping.
We took a bunch of apple skins.
How is that possible? No, it's not.
It was dripping.
Well, it had some on top still. when we
Oh,
opened
okay.
it.
That's this show's right off.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
They
Let's
show it
go
right
home.
off.
Definitely.
It's like
Let's go home. And that was the show.
it's like we just took a Thelma and Louise right over the cliff. We're just like,
All right. Well.
all right.
So who's taking custody of it?
you are?
Yeah, you could have that.
Right next to the Grants.
Throw it in the trunk.
And I still have some bubbles
No,
left.
I'm gonna. No, you take it home and you let Gigi taste it, and then you let me know.
Okay. We'll do that. All right. So are we moving on to?
Yeah. Guilty or not
We're
guilty?
going to do guilty or not guilty.
By the way,
But
let's
it's-
just. I was. We
but
haven't
it's-
even greeted each other formally. How are you doing? How was your week?
I've been exceedingly busy.
I know. That.
It's been.
You missed last week's show.
Did you go either?
No, I wasn't here.
no,
but
nobody came. I did.
Poor,
You
I
didn't
showed
let's
up.
replay that.
No, and that's
I
really-
think I got a message like at 7:30. Where the fuck are you
Yeah.
guys?
I'm like, these guys are
I'm
always
so
on time.
sorry. No, I'm so sorry. When we
I've
were
been in trial for like the last.
Yeah, I-
when we were going back and forth, I thought we were on the same chat, and so I just assumed because usually, like, I'll talk to him differently than I talk to the three of us. Like the three of us, I'm very polite, but when it's just him and me,
Yeah.
I'm really mean. True. And anyway, so I just assumed that it was you were there.
Yeah.
I do apologize. for
Nobody,
that.
nobody cares. About
No,
me.
it made me mad because you were in Zephyr Hills. You drove
Nobody
all the way
cares
from
about
Zephyr Hills.
me.
Do you live in
Yeah.
Zephyr Hills? What were you doing in Zephyr Hills?
I'm just hanging out.
Oh, you just chilling and illin'?
Who's there these days?
Because you posted a picture last week about something going on in Zephyr Hills. and
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was
what
a
the hell?
whole
How do you know
entire
anything about Zephyr
standoff.
Hills?
Well, I mean, I spent some time out there. I frequent the area.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
So when you're out there, like, are you hitting the Hardee's?
Does somebody
and,
that's
what
called
are you
into the show live out there?
it's possible.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people that have called into the show before.
What?
A lot.
This
Yeah,
show?
really a lot.
I think there's
We've
only
narrowed
one.
down to 2.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
good time out
I think
there.
Jill's
like it out
called
there.
in
It's
and
nice,
Gigi's called
nice
in.
and quiet out there.
Jill doesn't live in Zephyr Hills.
Bunch of cool
So-
people.
That narrows it down.
So anyway, I do apologize.
All right, so let's show the picture.
Okay, so this week's episode of Guilty or Not Guilty is actually a classic.
We're not doing a little video clip.
No videos, just a picture.
A
'cause I think
picture.
the picture does everything. The question here, we'll set it up, is Biden
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilt is Biden guilty or not guilty?
Of what?
Guilty.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
That's right. There we go. Oh, there we go.
Wait,
Don't
keep
get
it still.
too-
So,
Oh Lord, yeah. What did he do? Guilty. Of
look at all four characters.
They're
in
looking at
detail.
him
Look at
like,
this guy.
You gotta
yeah,
look
but
at
is that
all-
really him though?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's it. No,
This
that's it. It's a famous it's actually from a clip.
this
That's
guy.
look at
this
that guy.
Look
That
at
guy's
guy with
like,
his
yo,
glass.
what is going on here?
And she's just having a good.
Is that his girl? Is that like the
Yeah.
dude's girlfriend?
Yep.
I don't know who's who. Uh-oh.
Oh, the light went off.
Sorry. There we go. So sorry.
And the other guy's ready to punch.
What is that light all about?
Get
That's
to
from
the other
this,
guy.
like-
Get to the other guy.
I'm trying. Oh,
Yeah. We're good. They see it. Next time, send me the pictures in advance, and I can load them up.
I did send it
And
to you.
she
but it was
is
too
in
late.
fact on his lap.
She is on Biden's
No,
lap.
I mean, but can you blame Biden?
Look
that's
at-
how she.
oh, no. You know-
That's how the chicks get around him,
Dude, look at where his face is.
Bro. Yeah, he's sniffing the neck.
He's got his hands
He knows what
on
he's
her
doing.
shoulder, and his
It sounds like he's
nose
voting guilty.
in her ear.
What is he guilty of or not guilty of?
That's
Philandering?
What, it
philandering.
Philandering. Philandering? Isn't it philandering? Isn't it, did I say that
Philandering is right,
correctly? Oh,
but
okay.
but
You're
I'm
making
just
fun of my word.
yeah. Like what is
You don't
philandering
think our
to you?
audience knows what philandering is?
What is it to you?
Flirting around with someone who's not your wife.
Okay.
Who says he's flirting?
That's what the whole. This is the whole
Is it
segment's
guilty or
about.
not guilty?
Hey, dum dum.
I'm
wanna
trying.
vote not
This whole
guilty?
trying president.
You want to vote not guilty? Go. Just throw your
Now
vote in.
that
you
picture
biased
is old.
motherfucker.
Now that picture is old. That's several years
Yeah.
old. By the way. That didn't happen yesterday.
He's smelling. That's all. He's been smelling her neck.
Is he being
nothing
friendly?
weird or creepy
just
about
kind
that
of. Yeah.
at all?
Nothing creepy at all.
I'm gonna start trying to do that in public. Yeah, come here, girl.
All right. So, if we're voting on,
Okay, no, but I have a. Hold on. But before we start voting, we will have to vote.
okay, I
We got some
wasn't
que-
going to vote. I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
vote on like what are we voting like on creepiness? Are we voting on? Is he doing something like you say? Maybe like
Disrespecting his wife.
disrespecting his wife.
I got a better question.
Okay.
This happened sometime between 2016 and 2020. If the bikers had beat the shit out of Biden, would Trump have pardoned them?
No.
Wait. If the bikers would have beaten Biden,
Yeah.
guilty or not guilty?
No, I don't understand. Just being silly at this point.
Oh, the aftertaste of that.
Oh, yeah. What?
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the turpentine.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you were talking about Biden.
Yeah, but after looking at that picture,
Creepy. If we're going creepy,
the creepy
he's,
Biden
he's
look.
guilty. He's guilty for being creepy.
He's
We
guilty
need
I'm
for
to-
being
surprised
creepy.
you guys, out of all the pictures, that's the one you chose.
Well, there's a lot of
We
them,
didn't
but
think
I-
of this segment until
Like 30 seconds right before.
6:59.
Yeah.
When you were on the phone, you weren't helping us, so we had to.
Do you have any clips that we can see from the past
I
week?
wish.
How about
would've
that one
read
with
it.
him with his hands on the
With the little
with the little
kids?
girl?
Yeah, those are
Oh,
weird.
that's terrible. All right, let's do
Yeah,
that one
those
too.
are real weird.
That is.
And the one where he was
that
like,
incenses my wife. By the
like
way,
he
that
kept
Oh, show
playing,
that one.
yeah.
He kept playing with her neck,
Biden.
and she kept scooting
Yeah,
away. And
yeah,
he was-
that one.
Yeah, that's super creepy.
Yeah.
He's always been a
Biden-
creeper.
What would you call that little girl?
Yeah,
Biden,
definitely a
little
little
girl.
girl.
I'm trying to do a quick search, so I'm just.
He's gonna do. Yeah, good luck.
It is. There
You
it
put
is.
It's
Biden
right
and
there?
little
Yeah,
girl,
I have
you're
it
gonna
right
get
here.
40
Ooh, that's
pictures.
creepy.
Yeah, it's
It
super
just makes
creepy.
me cringe.
It is. It's weird. It's
I don't know if
weird.
this is the exact same one, but this is one.
Well, you know, every president is a
yeah.
weirdo in some way. Yeah, she's clearly disturbed.
Okay, play the video.
But look at Dad. Dad is like, yes, just
It's
no,
not a
just
video?
let him
That's
smell
That's
you.
not a video. I'll come look and see if there's a video. But hold on.
Is that
was a-
YouTube or
That
not?
was an image, and I went. All right, so hold on. Video.
Yeah, no, that's.
Biden touches girls compilation.
Yes,
It's only
still
12
guilty on the whole
He's got a
compilation.
compilation.
It's only 12 minutes long.
Jeez.
Well,
All right, here's one that's
our
only
show
32
needs a filler,
seconds.
though. Let's go.
Holy
No, we
crap.
do not.
That
We're going to
is
do this one. Oh, here we go. Here we
crazy.
go. Here we go. There we go. Oh, come on, Jay.
Are you gonna play the video?
I'm trying.
All right, hold on. Let me just do this then.
Okay.
So we'll do.
It's only 20
This
seconds.
kid.
Here we go.
I think I'll do this. Yeah.
Wait,
Here, there you go.
focus.
Put it right in front.
turn it
Look at
around.
this camera.
Turn it
Wait,
around.
I'll do the other camera. I'll do the other camera. Wait.
There we
No,
go.
wait, go back. Wait, go to the other one because it's you. There you go. No
There we go.
glare.
Right there. Stay right
No
there.
glare. Don't move. Let me take the logo down. Hold on. Boom.
Oh, what happened here?
It's a commercial.
Go back. It's only 20 seconds.
Click and drag. Ew, look at that. So
Drag
weird. It's so weird.
Trying.
Oh my
It's
God,
so weird.
Jason.
Okay, look.
There we go.
I'll do the sound effects. Oh, you smell so good.
Oh, look at that.
She's like, don't touch me. And the dad's like, just let him do it.
I'm a senator. Just be quiet.
Yeah, just be quiet. Let him kiss you. Oh, Lord.
All right. So,
Guilty.
Guilty as being a creeper.
Jesus, that is.
That's disturbing.
Now, what do you think? All right, so if you were to vote, maybe we should make this. If he was to be not guilty, what would be your argument?
Not guilty of rape.
Not guilty of.
But give him.
If
give him
he's
some
not
time.
guilty, he's just being a sweet grandpa type, saying, "Aren't you like proud to be here? And I'm so proud of you to be here."
I'm gonna. I'm not
Is
a
he
Biden.
whispering something nice?
Okay, I'm not a Biden defender, but and I'm not a creep. But when I'm around children, I'm very friendly with them. Hold on, let me clarify. But like when I see someone, I'm not going up and touching them. I don't touch other people's children. No, absolutely not. But but when I speak with them, I'm like, "Hi, honey, how you doing? You can come over here. Mom's out on the porch. When they come to a party or something like that." I'm like, I'm generally keeping an eye out for children. Make sure don't go on the road. That type of stuff. But I generally will respond to children even if I don't know them as honey, and that's boys or girls. If they're young,
Come here, honey.
if they're young,
I'll show you- this is where the pool
not
is.
come here, honey. Please.
Say, hey,
I didn't
honey.
say that.
Come here, honey.
Hey, honey.
No, that's
on my
kind of
lap.
creepy. But I'm just saying, I think there is definitely a distinction between being kind and generous and being weird. That is weird. I mean, sniffing, touching,
you've
holding
never
hands.
sniffed someone before? You got to try
In the
it.
White House?
Yeah.
No.
It's real
No,
nice.
I just have to say
The
that.
pheromones and then the fear.
You say
gets
anyone. We're not talking about anyone. We're talking about,
intermingled.
this is a girl, a little girl, not a.
All right, so what's your vote, though?
creepy.
Oh yeah, full on.
I didn't
full
know
on
what
guilty,
the
guilty on
or
creepy.
what. Guilty or
I think
not
it's too
guilty
easy.
what?
Okay, so it's just socially unacceptable.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't expect anyone to do that at all ever,
Ever.
Okay,
right? But
Not to even have a
but
compilation.
I'm trying to like put it in terms of
I can.
he's just a teetering old grandfather type that has grandchildren himself, and
Yeah,
he's
so
like,
to him it's
All right. So, if there was only one or two of those clips, I would say taken out of context,
Yeah.
snapshot.
Yeah.
But when you look at the span of everything else, how he is with little girls and with grown women, the way he's just a little bit too touchy, he's a little bit too feely, and it might be a generational thing.
Yeah.
But I really think he's a creepy old man.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's a creepy old
Definitely.
man. So guilty.
I think
creepy
we
old man.
all
He
think
should
we
be
all-
impeached. In fact, I think we should bring him up on impeachment charges. No? Don't agree with
well,
me?
I'm gonna wait to see what he does with the Israel situation.
Oh Jesus! Let's not even.
Why? I've got a new segment that we're going to do. Are you ready? Ready?
Let's go.
Facts, and not facts. It's a conspiracy theory segment. If it could be true, it's fact. If it's definitely true, it's fact.
I
you
like
say
this.
Fact.
I like this.
And if it's total bullshit,
This
it's
guy's
not
content
fact.
creator. I like
Yeah,
this.
are you ready for this though?
I mean, I'm always
Okay.
down to.
All right.
All right. What was the thing?
You
we were
get
talking about?
started.
I forgot what we were going to say.
Shut up.
I don't remember anymore.
Okay, I got one. I got
All right,
one.
you got one?
guys
No.
tell me.
No.
What are we talking about?
Fact? Is it fact?
Fact.
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 Or not fact?
There's 3 A's in
Okay.
fact.
Okay. Okay. Since we're talking about this,
Yeah.
coming into somebody's area, forcefully removing them from them houses, and taking over their property, is that legal?
Look, all I'm going to say is you don't have
If
to.
you're going
you
to
don't have
equate
convince
this to
anyone.
Israel,
If
I'm
you're
going
not-
to pummel your face.
I'm not doing
If
it.
you're
I'm
not-
just
if you're not-
saying
no.
facts or
Hey,
not.
I told you I
I'm
wouldn't get
totally.
inflamed.
I agree. What we did to the Native Americans was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing. Same situation.
Really? Pretty sure that Israel was there first. At least that's what my Bible says.
Well,
What does your Bible say?
It was the homeland.
It depends on
Before they
when your
declared
Bible
it the
was
homeland.
actually written.
When was your Bible written?
A lot of them, well, a lot of the 1600s is pretty accurate. Anything after that has been more mind control and,
1600s.
Yeah, you didn't know about
Who's
this.
mind controlling who?
You didn't know about a 1600, the year of the 1600 Bible? You should probably read that one. Everything else has been European.
Is it the Satanic
recreation.
Bible?
No, it's the actual Bible. It's an actual Bible.
Yeah, I don't. I only follow one Bible and one catechism. Sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Maybe my problem is I don't follow a Bible at all.
Yeah. My main thing is people are getting their houses and their property taken, and then if they fight back, they're terrorists. Which is
Fight
weird
back
because.
how?
What do you mean fight back? Like if somebody comes in your house and tries to take your house, what are you going to do? You're going to just be like, okay, take my house?
All right, so
I know,
no
I
one's
thought you-
actively
I thought you
taking
were-
my
I
house.
thought you were against gun rights.
What do you mean? I'm not. I love guns. Guns are awesome.
Guns
Guns prevent shit that's happening in Israel. Well, it doesn't matter because if the Palestinians had guns, they would just continuously
All
get
right, so
bombed.
if it's guilty or not guilty, is it Israel or Hamas?
No, we're not. We're doing facts.
Facts,
and not
facts.
Well, I'm
Facts.
putting it in terms of guilty and not guilty, just for the purpose of that one
just
question.
change-
Well, it's not really a guilty or not guilty type of. Well, if it's guilty or not guilty, is Israel forcibly removing people from their property, taking it, and essentially trying to eradicate the people on those lands? Facts,
No.
Richard.
Does Israel have sovereignty?
What? What do you mean?
I'm just asking.
It's the same thing. It's people that do not live
Okay,
here are
but-
coming
but-
in, claiming the land, taking it, and killing the people that live there.
No. They're not killing.
Well, they're not killing. They're putting them in camps and then bombing the camps later. Because that's how that works. Well, first you got to take down the media so that way the media can't report what's happening. Then you give an hour warning before you bomb the camp of refugees
Awesome.
because
At
what
least they
you
got a
say
warning.
is, well, there's a terrorist in there. Because we could easily say there's a terrorist out there and have them
But
bomb.
there are
So do you
rockets
doubt- do
raining
you
down
doubt-
on
Yeah, there's
Israel.
rockets.
Do you
but there's-
doubt that Hamas and Hezbollah hide among civilian populations in order to protect themselves? Do you deny that?
I'm not denying anything, but I'm not
Okay,
saying
so
you should
wait.
level
I'll
an
just play it
entire
out with me.
apartment complex.
You have your home,
Yeah,
okay, in which people are bombing your home, okay, and the people who are bombing your home are living among children
Yeah.
and innocents.
yeah.
How do you stop your home from being bombed?
Were those people bombing my house
No, don't
before
get to the cause. No.
or after I went in and tried to forcibly remove people from those
Well,
houses?
that's
and
why I asked about
apartments?
sovereignty first, because the line that gets blurred first is whether or not a country has a right to defend itself versus the historic homeland, right?
So who says it's a
okay.
historic
No.
homeland? Like who gave the rights to the land
Is
to
it
these people?
is Israel a sovereign nation?
I don't know. Are they? I don't pay attention to that. I look at it from
that's an
a
important-
ground level perspective.
Is America a sovereign nation?
Yeah, right. Aren't they? Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Does Israel have borders and a government and everything else that makes a nation sovereign?
I would assume so. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not over there. I just know what they're doing is pretty messed up.
No, but you have to first make definitions and then make sense. You first-
Definitions is no definition. If I'm
Well, of
living
course there
here, no, if I'm living here and you guys are trying to expand and come in and take my
That's
land
the
and my
question
house,
I'm asking.
that shouldn't be allowed just
you have to go
because you
step
have
by
a
step.
state.
You say try to expand because you have to go fact by fact.
Yeah.
This is facts.
Facts.
Okay.
Let's take
Or
this
not
one step at a
fact.
time. Do
Okay.
these people live
I want to
here?
go back to 1947,
No,
48.
let's go.
Wait,
to
no,
where we
you
are
have to
right
start
now.
with. I want the whole thing is simplified
Yeah.
by understanding what sovereignty is. That's why I asked the question.
Okay.
When they were made a nation state,
Okay.
okay, there were defined boundaries.
Yeah.
And people at the moment, they may not have liked it, knew there were boundaries. This is
So
a
they
new
drew
nation.
a boundary around where people were already living and said, "We're this is our land."
Yes,
And
but
that's
some
okay.
nations, yes, and that was the agreement.
So let's say hypothetically, somebody comes and draws a border around your house and says, "This is my house now." Are you cool with leaving?
Okay. Israel as a nation has been welcoming to those people. When they originally drew the boundaries, they weren't throwing people out and saying, "That's my place now." They were just defining boundaries. That's another fallacy that begins with, oh, since they drew boundaries, they were kicking everybody else out and saying, "My place now." They were very inclusive to everybody.
How often are there boundaries?
What happened was
expanded?
that the enemies of the new state of Israel said, "We don't think they're entitled to that land that's been our homeland," even though they were welcoming those people in the new boundaries. And they, soon after they were created, started invading Israel. And what bothers me is that if you don't believe they're a sovereign nation, then you say, well, they kind of stole land from people and they have to take their lumps, essentially. If people are going to fight back, they have to take their lumps. But if you're a nation who was welcoming in, you can live there. You can and have careers and businesses and expand and have families and all that. But some indigenous people who have a political agenda say, no, we don't agree with Jews to exist in a homeland. So we're going to fight against their existence and then make it a battle against the nation of Israel. Does Israel have a right to defend itself? Under that scenario.
I don't know, the whole situation is...
Well, that's
Because I look at it from a personal standpoint. I look at it from, like, if I'm living here, I should be entitled to keep my property. Because it all goes back to the same thing with the United States.
I'm saying if you understood if the premise is you're living in your home. Wait. Start with your premise. You're living in your home in some land.
Been living in this land
and you've been living in generations.
Generations and generations.
All right? And a boundary is created where someone else...
Now, who created the boundary?
A boundary... Wait, you're now no longer living in X nation state. You're living in Y nation state.
Yeah.
And the Y nation state says, live like you always have, be part of our community.
But that's not how it has been.
No, that's not how outsiders to that agreement felt.
No, it hasn't.
The people who are welcomed... No, this is the biggest fallacy. That's the problem. There were entities outside that arrangement said, I don't think they have a right to exist. So we're going to tell those people to align themselves with us or be with Israel. Okay? And it's like, okay, now, if you are one of those people who had their boundaries wrapped around, you're going to align with people saying, are you going to let someone take over your land? Even though you were completely welcomed.
Yeah, I'm going to say, who is this person telling me that I should move?
Not move.
No, there's videos and countless videos of people going in Israel.
Yes, but you understand it's
army
in context.
People going into
it's
these
not,
people's houses.
They don't.
If they're welcome, how are you going in there and forcibly removing them from their house?
Because you don't understand the insidiousness of the enemies.
No, I understand. I've been watching.
So if they're
enemies.
living among communities,
hold on. If I may, just give some context.
That's what I'm saying.
If I may, I understand. I understand, and I'm following Richard, but I think I understand what you're saying too as well, Serge. So Richard's talking about the historical basis of the boundaries and what occurred, and you're talking about video that you're seeing now.
Well, I'm talking about the process.
Hold on.
Because you're talking about states have been created and these people were welcome.
But I think the difference is, the distinction is, I think, and where maybe there's a misunderstanding or a disconnect, is that what Richard is saying is, this is what the rules were when it started, and you're saying this is what's happening now.
Yeah.
But the context is what has happened between that time and now.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have happened. Israel's been attacked at least twice.
Yeah, but they're also
and he's
attacking.
been there was at least two wars.
There was war twice.
There was the 6-day war.
Yeah.
And then the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah.
So there were two different wars where outsiders, Jordan,
took land from Israel,
invaded Israel, Egypt, and then they've expanded and they took over areas
Israel
like
fought
the Gaza
back
Strip.
and took over their land when they
and
fought
then
back.
also the PLO formed and they started attacking Israel, and through that Israel has continued to expand in a way of, for lack of a better word, through I'm going to use the word conquering. They essentially conquered those areas to create buffers to protect their homeland from those terrorists. And the terrorists now are saying, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, because there are civilians here, but they fight from civilian positions. There's a really interesting.
Yeah, of course, that's what they're going to do.
There's an interesting cartoon. I'm going to use it because I don't know how much.
How long is it?
Oh, it's not a video. It's a cartoon.
Oh, it's just a picture.
It's a picture.
Yeah.
A political cartoon.
Political cartoon. Thank you. So, here's what it is. Essentially, it's a picture of Hamas in a bunker being protected by civilians, and an Israeli soldier protecting a bunker full of civilians. And that's really the distinction about what we're seeing. We're seeing that Hamas is attacking Israel.
But we're not
With the
seeing that
protection of
Israel.
the
So you're going
Wait,
by
let him
the
finish. Let
assumption.
Jason finish.
That's just this is a cartoon making a point.
Yeah.
This isn't everything in the entire history of what's going on.
Yeah.
But essentially, what's going on now? Hamas is shooting weapons, rockets, hundreds of them,
They
almost
weren't
thousands.
shooting them until they were provoked.
Okay. So
Do you
they're
do you
shooting
know why the most recent shots were even be
But
happening?
don't you want to put it in context? Let's say they're shooting them because they're provoked. Why? Okay. Why
And
are
who are they shooting them at?
Yes.
They're shooting
Who are
them
they-
because they're pissed off because they've.
But who are they shooting them
You're
at?
not shooting at the government that they
Because
allege
you
is
can't.
oppressing
You
them.
can't shoot.
You're
them.
shooting
Come
at
on, man.
innocent
You're
people.
really thinking that they're going to get any shots off under the Iron Dome? Stop.
30% are falling through. Do you realize
So
that?
you take pot shots at civilians and kill children, and then squawk when Israel kills them back? Seems dumb.
No, it's just crazy.
There was an
because
interesting
the whole
story
reason
today. There was an
this
interesting
most recent conflict
There was an interesting
started.
story about after Israel destroyed that media building, which you referred to earlier in the show, and it was the AP asking a question to Netanyahu. He said, "Isn't it lucky that they got out in time?" And not Netanyahu said, "It wasn't luck," and essentially explained that they had given all those media outlets notice ahead of time.
A 1
We're
hour
coming.
warning.
Doesn't matter. It could have been 5 seconds. They gave them warning.
No,
they got out. No,
The reason,
none of those media.
you know, the reason why they took out that it's not because there was terrorists in there. Because you know how hard could that be to say, oh, we blew it up because there was terrorists in there. Everybody's going to believe it. There's media in there.
not-
Everybody in the building said there was no way there was any terrorists in this building, and these are all kinds of media outlets. It wasn't just Al Jazeera or whatever. It was every media that was in that building said there's no way. So why
right,
are they
so-
bombing hospitals? Why are they bombing schools?
So you believe?
Why are they bombing the roads to the
So
hospitals?
you believe in your soul that Israel is indiscriminately killing innocent people. That's what you believe in your soul.
I believe they're dropping bombs to drop bombs because once you get rid of this building, guess what? We can build it up and put the Jews in the building. It's basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to take over that side. They've been doing this.
All right. So in the history of the world, this is a truism. In the history of the world, whenever nations are attacked, sometimes they attack back with overwhelming force to conquer the other side, so they'll never be attacked again. That's been the history of the world. Only Israel has looked as though, nah, you're killing innocent people.
Yeah.
No, everybody looks at it in all the conflicts, but this one has been the one that keeps happening because they come in, they try to take
So why
land,
did the PLO
and
reject
then
the nation state when offered? Even Clinton offered a nation state. They said no.
I have no idea, man. What does that got to like? I don't know what that.
Well,
has
they were
to
given
do.
a homeland.
Well, their charter is based on the illegitimacy of Israel, that it must be eradicated.
If it must be eradicated, don't you think they would be constantly bombing every single day? Till
No, because they
the
could
end
be
of
wiped
time?
out. Didn't you know that Israel could wipe them out very
Yeah,
quickly?
and they haven't, because they're not going to wipe out an entire.
because they're not monsters.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
because they're the innocents.
no, that's not the innocents. They're probably the provocators.
Israel.
How could they be the provocators?
Because they go in, take land, and when the guy says, "I'm not
No,
letting
but
you take my land,"
They're not
I'm
going
gonna
in
shoot
and
a
taking land.
rocket
They're
at
taking
you.
land
Now
based
they
on
are, bro. Look at
aggressions
that.
to them.
Look at this.
Aggressions to them.
Do
They
you
take
see the
over
property?
For their,
Like, do you see
Yeah.
how it went from all of this to now? There's little specks, and those little specks they're trying to take.
Yeah, they take them all.
No, but
I
that's
would. I like when I go
that's
through my
evil.
foyer and I
That's
need to
evil.
get. Like,
That's
I
super
sweep
evil.
everything up.
That's the epitome of evil.
No, here's the thing.
This is not a map. Of
Israel is
showing,
the
let me show
epitome
do
you.
you
of
think
evil.
there's any? Do you think?
Let me show the
okay,
people
let's
real quick.
hold on.
I don't want to
let's-
show you.
we'll-
Look at this
we'll-
map. Tell me that this looks very welcoming. The left is what it originally started at. The right is where the Palestinians are located now. It's a genocide. They're taking the land, and when the people fight back,
You know what's missing from there?
now they're terrorists.
You know-
You completely missed
What-
the context of the. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just
you know
see
what's
the map.
missing there?
That's- The
What
map don't lie.
caused that to happen? You're looking at the result and saying, "Oh, by definition, it must have been awful."
No,
What
it's
they did.
awful because you're
What happens? I'm just explaining to
displacing
you
what
people.
in the
caused
history
that?
of the world, when nations are attacked, and if they have enough resources to fight back, they will fight back in a way which takes over their enemies
Yeah.
The United States
and
has
then
grown very
occupies that
similarly.
position so
ask
they can
yourself
protect their
why.
nation.
Ask yourself why that nation is being attacked in the first place, and don't say, "Oh, because the other people want to eradicate them," because that's
No,
not
it's
the thing.
You think
sovereignty.
there's-
It's that's
No,
what I'm-
it's because they're coming in, taking their land, and when the person's tired of getting their land taken, they shoot a rocket, and now they get bombs dropped on them. Because what are you going to do if you lose your house and everything, and now you're sleeping out in a tent? You're going to be pretty pissed. So you're going to shoot at somebody because you are at the end of your rope, and because you shoot
Can I
at
ask,
somebody,
can I ask you a simple
they got
question?
bigger
Let
guns.
me ask you a
They
very
got-
simple question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Hamas a terrorist organization? or
Yeah,
not?
so is Israel. If that's how we're looking at it, I look at them as they're defending their property. But they're defending it against guys who have an Iron Dome, who have missiles,
You
who
betcha.
have bombs.
We just
who
gave
have
them another
jets.
$725 million worth. But here's the next question: do you find any moving it aside, the conversation just a little bit to a different viewpoint? Is what's going on right now in the Middle East because Trump is no longer in the White House?
No, it's just been going on way before.
Bullshit. Trump was working with Arab nations and Muslim nations for the last several years, creating alliances and recognition between Saudi Arabia. He was working on one with Saudi Arabia. He got one with the UAE. He got one with, there were a couple other nations out there, including out in North Africa. Was it Tunisia? Morocco, maybe? I don't know. But bigger point is that Trump was not only firm in his support for Israel, he was also firm with his dealings with the Arab world. And I believe personally that there's more bugs in your office, by the way. I just killed another one. It was a teeny tiny one, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
You're buggy. I hope I hope Nixon's not listening.
possibly.
Continue.
Bad joke. Anyway, I think because Trump is gone, they are now Palestinians, but mostly Hamas. And I don't believe it's all Palestinians, by the
No,
way. I think
it's
it's
not,
Iran.
'cause
Quite
there's
frankly,
regular people.
It's see, that's ironic. See,
Proxies.
the Iran, which is looking to make a point with the Biden administration, is using Hamas, is funding Hamas, is weaponizing Hamas, and using them to create strife. And now a very weak presidency doesn't know what to do and probably can't come out in support of Israel like it should because the guy has no
They're
balls.
doing exactly the same thing.
Well, he
they've
doesn't have
always
any
been
sense
doing.
either, but, you know.
We sent them $300 billion or $300 million this year. Might even be billion. I gotta check.
Well, I know there was a
We're
weapons
constantly
deal.
sending them money to fund their terrorism.
Good. Israel's terrorism?
Yes.
What?
Like I said,
They are a Democrat nation.
that doesn't mean nothing. Just because it doesn't matter what your
Did
politics
Israel
are.
start? Did Israel start bombing Palestine?
No, they started taking land, and then they provoke. You poke, because you know you're going to get eventually somebody to retaliate. And as soon as they retaliate, the first thing you do, oh, they're terrorists. Quick, we got to blow them up. Next thing you know, there's 600 people killed on this side and 2 people killed on this side. 45 kids killed on this side, no kids killed on this side.
Well, I would. Well, I think
Hospitals and schools being bombed on this side.
Because that's where
nobody's
they're,
getting hit on
that's
this
where
side.
they're aiming their hostilities from.
That's not what they're. No, that's not. That's strategic, man. That's classic
It's
war, bro. War. First thing you do, you bomb airports. Next thing you do,
if
you
you
bomb
are
hospitals.
hiding yourself among civilian populations as a war.
That's what
tech-
you're being told.
As a war. Listen to
That's
me.
what you're being told.
You don't think they're doing that?
No, they could, but like I said,
I don't think you're supposed to scratch that.
you don't.
No, it's just
yeah, it's itchy.
It's fading.
Oh yeah, you didn't even show him. Show him the new tattoo.
It's a giant Star of David.
He hasn't. He hasn't yet to show.
Giant
people.
star. I don't know how I can show
Oh,
it.
yeah. That's terrible. I don't know. You move the camera.
Here we go. Here we go.
Get your hand away from me.
There you go.
You
I'll
big
zoom in.
Biden, you. Oh, that's not my-
Who's that? Not me.
It's DNA.
There you go. Very nice.
I think I see the.
Showing that I'm quintessentially human and you are not. Because you cannot understand what is pure logic.
Yes, I can.
You know, you're all emotional about it.
No, I'm not emotional.
Yes, you are.
I've been seeing the same thing over and over again, and it's irritating to see that a country can get away with, in these days, taking people's land, and then when they get hit for it, oh my God, they're terrorists! Quick, we got to blow everybody up. No, you're moving them out of their land, taking their homes, blowing up other homes, so that way you can take those too. This is how it's been. This is America 2.0. Because that's exactly how America was established. Same thing. Except they didn't have as many jets
Do you
and
think we
planes
should blow
and
up
stuff.
America?
No, I'm saying America was taken. They came in. They killed off the population, took their land, forced them into certain areas called reservations, built everything around it.
I saw Pocahontas, and they started it.
That's exactly what we're told. They started it, so it's okay. It justifies. They threw rocks at us, so it's okay for us to shoot them.
All right,
they
so
shot
I'm gonna make
rockets
it a
at us, so it's
project
okay
in the
for us
next
to
week
bomb
or
their
two.
whole entire country.
In the next week or two, I'm going to make it a project where I'm going to... If I assigned you some reading...
No, he doesn't read. Picture books.
It's got to be like documentaries.
Okay, I'll work on it.
No, like I said, no. It's
I'll work on it.
It's a problem that both sides contribute to. However, one side is a lot stronger than the other side is.
That is true.
And one side is trying to take land from people, and the other one is just trying to survive.
That's Israel's trying to survive.
Israel's not trying to survive. You can
Of course
see
they
that
have-
they're
they're
thriving.
constantly under
surrounded-
threat.
They're the only democratic nation surrounded by like all their enemies.
Yeah.
Think about how America would be if like everyone like rockets were being thrown into America.
Yeah, if we're provoking things to get rockets shot at us, we
You
deserve
would-
to
you
get
would-
That was a
rockets shot
great
at us.
response. Did you see Netanyahu was responding to somebody, and I think it was on a television interview. He was asked to explain, and he's like, if America was being under attack by rockets like we were, you know how you'd respond.
Yeah, how would we respond?
We would blow them up.
That's right, with unyielding force.
But the thing is, you're looking for the reaction, and you're ignoring the provocation for the rockets. You're
All right, so
you're
let's-
essentially
let's
saying
let's
it's
say-
okay for
wait a
America
minute,
to
wait
take
a minute, wait a
France
minute, wait a minute.
and take all this land.
I'm going to bewilder you.
Oh, go ahead.
So these remaining Indian reservations, assume they had all these rockets Hamas that
Yeah.
have, and they started bombing American cities. What should we do to Indian reservations?
What should we do? I mean, they're going to do.
If they started
exactly-
bombing U.S. cities with rockets, what should we do to the Indian
it's
reservations?
not going to happen.
I'm not. No.
Wanna know why?
I'm not-
'Cause
no, I'm
Indian
just saying,
reservations have their own
hypothetically,
land.
we took them
And-
over.
no, that's not
We took them. No,
hypothetical. You can't say that.
I'm making it an analogy.
hypothetical.
No, an analogy to what you said. We came in,
Yeah.
created a sovereign nation around Indians,
Okay.
forced them to reservations. You said
Yep.
that yourself, right?
Force them. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay,
Continue.
so now they're forcing the reservations.
Yep.
And somehow they, let's say hypothetically, they have rockets.
Now, why would they shoot those rockets? What would provoke them to shoot those rockets? If they got their land, they're living happily, they're not bothering anybody, what would provoke them to shoot those rockets in the first place?
That we took all their other land.
No, they still have land, so they're good. They got their land, they're good. But now what happens? Georgia comes in and says, you know what? You guys got your reservation, but we want to cut that in half. We want to take this part. And they're like, but wait a second. You guys said we can have this land. We can live in peace. This is cool. This is our property. But state of Georgia is like, no, we want to take half of what you have. But we already have houses and families and schools. Well, that's fine. But we're going to start moving our tanks in, and we're going to start taking this land.
I don't get this analogy here.
Because it's exactly what's happening over there.
No,
of course
okay.
you don't get it. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see the first punch. You want to see
No,
the reply.
I'm just saying, okay. Indians were here before we colonized it, right?
No, there's no colonizers.
Before we came in,
stole the land.
Before whatever you call colonization.
That's not colonization.
Oh, so we came in and we stole it.
Stole it.
I'll
There
use
you
your
go.
definition.
Stolen and murdered.
We
everybody
came
that
in,
was
we
living
stole
there.
and murdered,
Yeah.
and pushed all the indigenous people
Boom.
into certain areas.
Now stop right there. Is that terrorism?
Assuming that to be true.
It's true. There's no assuming. Stop.
Assuming
That's
that to
true.
be
Say that it's true. Come on, let's go. Facts or no facts. Let's do it. Did they come over here, kill people, take their land, and force them into small patches? Facts or no facts?
Partly facts. That's
Facts.
why it's
all
little
facts.
facts.
There's
It's
no
little.
partly
It's not
facts.
facts. It's
That's
facts.
a fact. It don't get no bigger of a fact than that. So now those people that were forced from their land and had generations killed,
What
they got
happened on
this
the
little
first
pile of
Thanksgiving?
land. So now you got
What happened on the first Thanksgiving?
first Thanksgiving. They learned how to cook and grow from the people that were really living there, that were happy to have the new people here. We knew we got all this land. You guys can stay here. So then what happened? Oh, cool. They taught us how to survive. Let's give them these blankets that have polio and
All
smallpox.
right, so let's play it out using your facts.
Facts. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
So now they're on Indian reservations,
Yeah.
relegated to those spots.
Relegated to those spots.
Okay, where they feel probably oppressed, subject to alcoholism, lack of education,
Yeah.
all these things that are
Yeah.
that flow down.
Things that
from-
happen with
okay.
depression. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. All right. And now add the fact that they're armed.
Yeah, they're armed.
Okay.
But they're okay with staying where they're at. They're like,
Not
fine,
okay
we'll
with
take-
it because
we'll
they
take-
suffer from
well,
high
they-
unemployment.
Yeah.
They suffer from
but they
alcoholism.
still have their land. They still have their land. They're cool.
Okay, hold on. I'm reading about this right now, and it appears that this whole fight is about 4 homes
Yeah.
with regard to evictions. Well,
Yeah.
the first question becomes whether or not those evictions were legal. The case was actually in the court and set to be heard by the Israeli Supreme Court. Those arguments and ruling were delayed because of the months of protesting that the Muslims were doing as a result of that particular case. It was set to be heard, but it had to be postponed because protests grew. We're talking about so literally, we're talking about hundreds of rockets killing and threatening Israeli civilians, and Israelis fighting back over four evictions.
houses.
Four
Yeah, 4
homes.
evictions.
4 homes. Okay, well let's because we don't know the details of that case at least.
I can tell you. I'm pretty sure I can tell
Let me
you
just ask
all. This is me just being hypothetical.
Look, stop. I represent people in foreclosure.
Yeah.
So let's stop about evictions. I understand evictions in principle. I don't know what's going on here. But I've got plenty. I have touched and know plenty of people, not touched like Biden, but touched. Not in the biblical sense, by the way.
You've come into contact. No, I don't mean that either.
Yeah. I'm not coming into town. Stop. Look.
I'm a perv.
Hey, you are a perv. Anyway, so, as I was going to say, I do know people, and I have seen plenty of cases, not necessarily my own clients, where people think they can't be removed simply because of some phantom issue or because they believe that, the bank was wrong or the bank did something illegal, which can't be either proven or is not actionable, and yet they mount fights, which prevent eviction when, in fact, eviction is lawful. So my point is, I think your point could be given some credibility if, in fact, the eviction was completely unlawful. All right? I'll grant you that. I don't think that result. I don't think 4 evictions warrant an all-out war. But I will tell you that if there's an unlawful eviction of those 4 families, they have a due process to be heard, which apparently was what was going on.
Do you think
but we've
they're gonna do
short-circuit. Well, see, that's just it. You have short-circuited the process by which it can't be done. It's kind of like the Derek Chauvin trial, right? I mean, you can't have a fair trial when you taint the trial pool. When the jury is tainted, you can't have a fair trial. When you do things like launch a war over these 4 evictions, it's going to be hard to determine whether or not the result is fair or not fair. So let's just say this is ridiculous that we are doing this over 4 families. And it's really sad. So if you tell me that they're swooping in and taking the homes of thousands of people and throwing them out on the streets, that'd be fine. But what if those evictions were lawful? What if those homes were, I don't know, for lack of a better word, in demolition condition? Maybe they were, maybe they weren't in good condition. Maybe they weren't being paid for. Maybe there were various reasons why those particular properties were in the scope.
Yeah, it
and then
could be
Israelis say, well,
It could be
if
a
you're
lot
going to
of
be
maybes. It could be
if you're not
maybe-
current on your rent, you can't continue to squat, so we're going to physically remove you, which is what, by the way, in the United States, if you lose foreclosure, you can get
Yeah.
evicted. It's called a writ of mandate. No.
Yeah.
writ of possession, where they will literally swoop in. The sheriff will come and physically remove you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But that's going on the assumption that it was a legit.
So you are saying that based upon legal principles that you may not have a full understanding of, and the public may not have a full understanding of, warrants hundreds, if not thousands, of rockets raining down on Israel to provoke a war.
We got to know the context.
That's right.
Because me personally,
Fact.
Wasn't that the
That's not
context?
just fact. That is fact.
facts. Yeah, we got to know the context.
Wasn't that
because-
just the context?
No, but no, that
Like-
wasn't.
like-
That's he doesn't know the facts. He
And neither
says
do
there
you.
was an
No,
eviction
but you were
process.
saying,
And neither do you.
But you were saying all along, this
No,
is just,
I'm saying
just a
okay,
people fighting
he
for
gave
fighting
one,
for their existence.
No, I'm saying he gave one side. Now his side was maybe they were evicted, maybe they didn't pay the rent, maybe the rent was kicked up 300% because they don't want them living there. Because that's called gentrification. It still happens to this day in the United States. They kick the rent up. You can't pay the rent. Oh man, it's 3 times what I was paying it. Now you're getting evicted from the home that you've been living in your whole entire life. So they
What do
can
you
move in
presume to
people
be
that are
true?
rich.
One or the other?
Yeah, it could be one of the. It could
No,
be mine or
what
him.
do you
either
presume
own
to
it
be
or
true?
What
you
do
live
I
there.
believe is
wait,
true?
Wait, whoa. You either own it or you don't own it. If you own it and you rent, and the person that owns it jacks your rent, you don't have any right to that property.
Yeah, you don't have.
Move out. Get
But
the
if
fuck
it was
out
your
and
property
move somewhere
from
else.
the beginning,
So you're
and all of a
suggesting-
sudden somebody says, "Well, this
Wait,
person owns your
okay.
property."
So what you're saying now is you're inserting facts which I don't think are an issue. You're essentially saying they owned this property. They were not delinquent on taxes. They weren't delinquent on insurance. They weren't delinquent on their mortgage. You're just saying they owned it free and clear. They had absolutely no financial issues which were causing any delinquency, and they were literally forcibly evicted. Is that what you're telling me? 4 people.
I'm saying it's possible.
Ah. So
Just
you
like
are
you
justifying.
were saying- no, I'm
you
saying-
literally have vilified an entire
No,
nation.
I haven't.
You have.
No, I haven't.
You
I'm
have.
simply saying that I've seen stuff like that happen here. So
Shit, I've seen some crappy foreclosures go down, but in every single one of them, there's a contract that is
yeah,
that is
but
broken.
also these people here went into it renting the place, knowing that another person owned it. A lot of these people have been living on this land and own these houses.
Let me just
beginning.
let me telegraph
and
to you
had
something.
an owner forced
Look,
on
dude,
them.
let me just tell you something. If you're a renter, you have no rights. Your rights are strictly contractual, and they end at
So-
the end of the term of the contract.
So let's do it like this: you own your house.
I do
You
own my
paid it
house.
off.
Not
Everything
yet.
is yours. You don't got to worry about paying rent.
That's right.
I buy the property your house is on, and now I say you got to pay me rent.
You can't buy my property. I own it.
It doesn't matter because that's what Israel just did.
You're-
Palestinians
that's-
lived in this area. We just created a border, didn't we? And those people that were living
So
there
you-
now have owners.
You're relegating ownership with territory. I live in Dade City.
Yeah.
It's a city I live in. Okay. But Dade City doesn't own my property?
Yeah.
I have to pay my taxes.
So what if Dade City decides, all right, we're drawing territorial lines. We now own your property. You owe us $600,000.
I don't believe that's true.
But it doesn't matter if you believe it.
Well,
the new property lines were drawn, and now your property belongs to us, and we're going to charge you.
Is
this.
that true for these 4 circumstances? That
I
we're
don't
talking
know
about?
because
Okay,
I don't
see,
live there. But
that's
I'm saying
the problem.
The
I can't discuss it with you. I can't
The
discuss
track history of this nation has
I
been
cannot discuss it with you because I don't know. You are going. You have an
I'm going
opinion.
by history. This is what's been happening
I don't.
the
I
whole
don't believe-
time.
No.
We all agreed that they lived there, and now territories were drawn around. So now, because it's a legal
So
territory, everything in there belongs
Derek
to.
Chauvin had every right to kill Floyd.
That has nothing to do.
Yes,
with
it does,
territory.
because essentially what you said is that if you're always a scumbag, you have a right to assume that that person you're dealing with is a scumbag.
No, I didn't
And by the way,
assume
Derek Chauvin wouldn't have known anything about that.
I'm just
kid.
saying
But
by the
Floyd
track record.
had a track record of being a scumbag.
Yeah.
Does he deserve
But
to
he
be dead?
didn't know that. So what is that? Like I said, this is
My point is you can't simply take somebody's history and use it against them in the current. Even which, by the way, I don't accept your history as true. I'm just saying, even if you were right and that Israel was always a scumbag, that doesn't give you the right to say these 4 evictions were illegal and therefore we're going to start
Yeah,
World War
bombing
III over it.
civilians.
But you also can't say that they were legal.
You d- I'm not the one calling them demons or devils or anything else.
No, I'm not saying the actual citizens of Israel are demons or devils. I'm saying the people that control the nation, the Zionists, are the ones that are the demons and the devils. That's all. Just like
How do you
our
define Zionism?
Zionism is they feel like they are entitled to this. They feel like their religion is the number one religion and everybody's wrong.
We all know they're wrong because the number one religion is Catholics. Come on. Oh, we're going to throw down right now?
No, but what I'm saying is it's a messed up situation, and it sucks that it's happening, and
I think the Vatican should start lobbing rockets into Israel. We're the number one religion.
it could be that would be
We could do that. That would be fun.
It'd be golden rockets too. It wouldn't be just your standard rocket.
But as it blows you up, it forgives your sins. So
All right,
Yeah.
so I told Jason going into this show, when we knew this topic would come up, that it would have to remain calm
Yeah.
and quiet, primarily because I want to keep doing the radio show. And I want to get into a knockdown drag out with my
Yeah,
buddy
of course.
Serge.
Nobody's
But I'll just put it this way: I can't be more polar opposite than your view on any subject we've ever talked about.
I know. Well, there's
And
other
I'm sitting here calmly. I'm just going to listen to it and understand that this is why we're having conflict in the Middle East in the first place. Is that it's so polarizing.
It is.
But here's what I see in the argument, and as I'm watching the two of you argue, or listening to it, is you make far more assumptions than Jason does to get to your conclusion. You just do. And Jason was trying to make you logically go through let's assume this eviction went through like normal
But that you just
proceedings,
said
and then you go into,
assume.
well, what if there are power-hungry motherfuckers screwing the little guy?
Yeah. But you just
Well, you don't know that at all. But then
he
you base bombing as being legitimate.
But he also
based
assumed.
No, I was reading an article that told
Yeah.
me that there was in a case of eviction going up
Yeah.
to the
And
Supreme
and it's going
Court.
through the court system as it ordinarily. And meanwhile, people are taking the law into their own hands and bombing innocent civilians to make their point that these evictions were improper as part of a Zionistic movement to usurp their rights. Right?
It is.
Okay. All right. Is that right?
What is it right?
To bomb innocent civilians because you believe.
Absolutely,
Is it
it's
really
right for them to
defending
defend
themselves from innocent people? Innocent people. Populations that are
We're
not
going
even
to-
armed.
The good news is we have a segment coming to a conclusion.
Is it?
And no, this is good. No, this is good because the category is facts, or not facts, and we get to vote. So, I vote not fact. What's yours?
About what?
Define
what
Okay, all right. So
it depends on what side you're coming from.
do the Palestinians have a right to lob rockets into Israel over the current situation? Fact.
Not fact.
Not fact. Not fact. And
I am going to say I can understand their situation.
so he
Is
goes-
it fact?
So that was an emphatic.
Or fact? Facts.
No, I'm just saying I can understand how people can get to that point to where
But
they're
do
like,
you-
I'm fighting
You're
for
okay.
what I
So
have.
you're okay. Let's be real, Serge. Totally sympathetic. I could understand you being sympathetic because I love the underdog too. So being sympathetic to the idea that they could be right is one thing, but coming out and saying that they are right is totally different. Do you have enough facts to say they are right?
Yeah. Well, no.
No, you
But
don't.
we also don't have enough facts to say they're wrong either.
True, but I don't think I would lob thousands of missiles into innocent.
Even if I felt that was right.
I just don't. I don't see any right. I don't
Like
see
I
how
said,
that's
you're
right.
not on the ground.
Over 4 evictions. I'm
Like I
sorry.
said, but this is for
Evictions that are in the
amongst
courthouse.
The thousands and
So
thousands
essentially, if
and
BLM had
thousands.
rioted right before the verdict because they thought it was going to be wrong, wouldn't they be fools?
What
Because
if they
they did.
bombed Minnesota? What if BLM, on behalf of the black community, bombed the government in Minnesota?
Oh, you mean like storming the Capitol of the United States?
Oh, for Pete's sakes! They were given permission. to do
Oh,
that,
let's
by the way.
end right there, shall we?
Oh,
my
wow. Now we got to...
Next week's facts,
wait a
facts,
second.
and not facts.
No,
Will be
let's
all about
do that
Capitol.
one. Facts
Cap-
and facts.
Capitol
Were they
Week.
justified to raid
So
the
next
Capitol
week,
building?
ladies and gentlemen, tune in to discuss
Did they?
whether
I didn't see
the
any
January
raid.
6th Capitol rioting, whether that was facts, or not facts.
Oh Lord,
Like that? You can come up with a.
I like that segment.
You can come
That's
up with a
really
little. You can come up with a graphic for that. That would be fun. Facts.
Well, I just have another question before we part. Do you like Jews?
Yeah, I love everybody.
They make
bro.
great havla.
No, I love everybody. What I don't like is people who get together and say we're better than everybody.
Because I got to tell you something. Going into the show,
Yeah.
I was convinced because Jason told me you hated Jews.
No, I don't hate Jews. I don't like Zion.
You told me you hate Jews.
No, I don't. I don't like Zionists. That the people that are in their mind convinced that we're allowed everything on this planet and we're taking it from you. And if you don't like it, cool. But don't shoot nothing at me.
How do you know
'cause then
that's
we're
what
gonna
they
bomb
think?
Because that's what
I'm going to
that's-
take it as Zionist camp. I've been through one.
That's why he wears
It's
his
fun
hair
times.
like that.
Fun times.
Yeah, I bet. I don't know. The whole situation
All
is
right,
just
all right,
crazy.
all right.
It shouldn't be like that. Especially not in these days. But
I know in the
So-
days of Biden,
I
we
think
shouldn't have
I'm
anything
going to
like that.
next show. Jason and I are going to park outside. I'm going to launch rockets into your studio.
Because I
and
think
say,
you're going to be mean to
our
me.
studio, motherfucker. Get out.
no, you would take my studio, then I shoot rockets at you, and then you level the whole entire building.
That's right. I'm not a dirty
Okay.
Jew. What do you
That's how that works.
That works. I like that.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how that works. That's
Okay.
completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Wrong. Okay. Are we wrapping up?
Yeah, let me put your names up and stuff.
Oh, yeah, please do.
Pew, pew.
I forget who I am every once in a while.
Pew, 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 pew. There they go. They're up
It's
there.
yours. Let's go.
Oh, my turn. Why don't you go first this time? Jason?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jason Ricardo. Thank you for listening. Ricardo and Waslick, we are consumer protection attorneys where we protect you against junk debt buyers, foreclosures, and dirty Jews. You can call.
Holy
I'm
crap.
Don't get us shut down now.
Holy crap.
Wait, what?
Someone tuning in the
I
last
won't.
5 seconds.
This
We
could
totally get that wrong. I am pro-Israel.
And
That's
now
my-
we're getting
that's my
bombed.
stick. Oh, there we go. Ricardo and Waslick, 352-567-3173. Jason at ricardolaw.com, and send all your dirty emails and angry emails to Serge at I don't know
Surgeon
what the fuck I'm
General.
talking
Flow
about
Higher Radio
.com.
at yahoo.com.
And I'm Richard Myers, the token Jew of the show, speaking up for all us downtrodden
One of
and,
the good
and
ones.
oppressed Jews from the nation state of Israel, saying that I have a law firm called the Myers Firm PA, largely devoted to family law and employment law. R. Myers at myersfirm.com, 813-985-6550, website www.myersfirm.com. Check me out. I can help you. All right, we're out.
See ya.
Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children, we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got me too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens, we think we free cause we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame. They saw